Well, the day is finally here after 7 long years and 5 amazing seasons. 1 amazing season. The Boys has finally concluded. The Boys is a show that I remember seeing for the first time, and I was immediately just encapsulated with it. And trust me, I'm not usually a fan of shows or any content involving crazy blood and guts because, man, I already got my fair share of that in the school change room. Anytime I hear the old Samsung Galaxy ringtone in public, I have like a Winter Soldier moment. The Boys is really the first superhero show, along with Invincible, that had a really fun, cool superhero concept. The overall concept of The Boys is that superheroes are big, egotistical assholes. Like, yeah, man, if superheroes were real people in our current world, I highly doubt they'd be doing it for the love of the fight and because they love saving us humans. No, they don't want to be mixed in with the rest of the plebeians on Earth. Not me, though. I am a superhuman. And Homelander, you know, being the all-powerful he is, views himself as a god. It's kind of like what happened with Light Yagami, where he's so powerful that he does develop a god complex. In a nutshell, Homelander gets so powerful and a group of people want to stop him, right? And this is our main cast, The Boys, which takes us to season 5. So season 5 just wrapped up. I, about an hour ago, finished watching the final episode, and my feelings are very, very mixed. For starters, the entirety of this show has been building up to Homelander unleashing his ultimate power and being this crazy being who's finally gonna snap. Now, let me tell you what Homelander actually did this season.
Your boyfriend wearing a pink hoodie is such a fucking loser.
Do you notice how I said nothing? Because that is what Homelander did this season. He did nothing. What I see in the toilet bowl after eating Qdoba is more intimidating than anything Homelander does this season. By the way, all of these different posters, all this different promo with the Vought Tower tilted over, or Homelander standing on top of the earth, or what I assume to be like a bunch of different Homelanders, none of that happens. It is just a drop in the ocean. It is nothingness. Like, look at all these posters. This motherfucker is looking like Genghis Khan, man, with the way he's looming over the planet of Earth. You know, explosions, all this shit. Homelander, this whole season, is just so unintimidating. And listen, I understand 100% where they're going for. Like, oh man, they want to make him this sad, pathetic worm. In the end, that is exactly what he is. In the final episode here, Ryan directly to his face tells him, like, that he's pathetic or that he's nobody. A-Train in the beginning of the season, R.I.P. King. A-Train tells him to his face that he's pathetic and that he's nobody. So it's obvious that he's ruminating and marinating in his thoughts. That is going to cause him inevitably to snap, right? And the entire season, he's like, I'm gonna kill all the non-believers. I'm gonna slaughter all the non-believers. The people who don't believe in the prophet of Homelander, right? He goes on this big spiel, but then nothing happens. It's literally all talk. And it sucks so much because we know that everything that we see on the posters, in the promo and everything, and what Eric Kripke and what everybody was saying, oh man, this is the season where Homelander, he's really unhinged. Oh man, he's gonna lose it, man. Oh man, you better hold on to your tidy whities. They're gonna be brown by the end of this season. Nothing happens. The final fight scene, anybody who is saying that it is worse than Vecna, you already know my opinion on Vecna. It was like reheated McDonald's fries. It was nothingness, stale garbage. There was nothing. The guy who had a giant penis as his superpower and would use it to like choke people out. He was more powerful than Homelander this episode, man. We've seen him laser Kimiko in half. Where was that this season? No, he just lasers her. He goes and then gets up like she hit her toe slightly. Not even. I have more pain stubbing my toe than I think Kimiko did getting lasered by Homelander 8 different times. And that's another thing with this season, and honestly the past few seasons, every superhero just felt so easy to get rid of. The first couple seasons, killing a supe was a huge task. It was something you had to be proud of. It was something you had to plan out meticulously. It was so hard to do. But in this season, Father, I forget his name, the religious guy, the guy who yells, oh, Homelander is our god, MM just seamlessly kills him by putting a ball gag in his mouth, and his head just explodes like elastic bands with the watermelon challenge. Or even previous season Newman, how Butcher just completely ripped her in half, like blood and guts spilling all over the place. Just that easy. Newman can pop your head just by thinking about it. If she has an inkling of an idea, it was seen that she will explode your head. If anybody remembers correctly, maybe I'm just dealing with Alzheimer's. It was all a schizophrenic memory in my mind. But in season 1, it was an impossible mission, a near impossible mission to get rid of any soup. Do you remember in season 1 where they had kidnapped Translucent? That was like an entire 3-episode arc just to get rid of one superhero. And I get it, it's translucent, he's invisible compared to everyone else. But as the show went on, it just became easier and easier. It felt like the season, sometimes the soups forgot how powerful they were. It felt like every soup was just fucking completely nerfed. Like Soldier Boy. What the hell happened with Soldier Boy? Soldier Boy gets choked out by Homelander. And then he's frozen. Dead ass, man. That like that's it. This entire season honestly just felt like a waste of time. They could have done so much with the time that they had. Instead, they just decided to spend it twiddling their thumbs and having scenes where 2 throwaway villains are sniffing each other's ass cracks. That's what you decide to do with your second to last episode? Are we serious? Legitimately, I believe a lot of this season, you could have just taken it, thrown it out. It could have left that a fire station like an abandoned baby, and it would have had the exact same conclusion. I thought it was really fun getting to see Jared Padalecki, Misha from the Supernatural. I thought that was fun. I thought it was really funny seeing Seth Rogen and Mick Lovin, Will Forte. I thought that was funny, but it didn't need to be there. Did we really need a scene of Homelander holding a turkey leg above his butt cheek saying, "You want to me? I know you," like, no, man. And that's what I'm talking about with the overall time wasting of this season. I think that's why this finale felt so rushed. It felt like everything was just done. Like they were halfway through the episode and they were like, oh shit, like we need to get things going. Listen, man, the Deep, terrible person. The Deep was not a good person, but god damn was he an amazing character.
I take responsibility for racism.
I wish that the Deep could have just gotten an ending where he's accepted back into the ocean, he swims away, and he's never heard from again. He's like the "have you seen this man" in your dreams. You just never hear from him again. It's like the Deep never existed. Sister Sage, I thought, was an amazing character. I thought she was such a fun character to work with, like the smartest person ever, and she knows everything. She can, think of everything. She had so much potential to do so much, but instead, she kind of just watches Love Island, plays with her Rose toy or her Starlight vibrator, and eats Taco Bell. And that's like pretty much all she does. And in the end, she goes to Harry Potter World Orlando. Avada Kedavra. Firecracker's death, real quick, I want to point out, I thought that was also done really well. She's like the super conservative, I love guns, I'm from the South, Jesus, everybody, woo! She very clearly is scared of Homelander. In like the 6th or 7th in like one of the last few episodes, she has this Jesus figure and she's walking to go speak with Homelander. But right before, she holds this Jesus figure and she throws it out, I guess symbolizing that she's given up and that she's going to go all in, put all her eggs in one basket in Homelander. She called her pastor, I don't think I can say that. She called her pastor a Minecraft YouTuber, like someone who's twiddling and diddling. She turned her back on everything and she got killed for it. So I thought Firecracker's death was done really well. Frenchie's death didn't feel as impactful. I think that's because they didn't kill him or any other character early on enough. He's one of the main original boys, and they kill him off in the second to last episode. And it's sad, yeah, but it's kind of just like, like the show's ending next season, so it doesn't really matter. Rather, if it were to happen like at the end of season 4 or even halfway through season 5, it would have been like, oh shit, like we still have a whole season left like without him. Like, that's really sad, but I don't know, man. That being said, I don't think the ending was Stranger Things level. I think everything after Homelander's fight was handled really, really well. I thought that Butcher having that final interaction with Homelander was so well. After we've had this buildup of him being a pathetic nobody, goes out like a pathetic nobody gremlin in front of the entire world or America, in front of everybody witnessing, because he before says, I'm not scared of William Butcher, but in the end, it's very clear that he is scared of William Butcher, considering he's willing to suck his clean, to even get the tiny little inkling of being kept alive. He offers to suck his, he offers to eat. I almost thought I was watching Euphoria for a second with how often he was talking about sucking and poop, man. Like, he is this pathetic nobody in the end. And Butcher finally just very eerily walking towards Homelander, beating the shit out of him with no powers, was so satisfying to watch. I think Butcher's ending was phenomenal. So when they're all having their little celebratory thing, Butcher comes up to Ryan and was like, hey, oi, mate. Oi, Ryan. He almost tries to make amends, but Ryan says, no, man, you're a dickhead. I don't really want anything to do with you. Ryan, has been f***ed over by multiple people. He's been f***ed over by Butcher himself. He's been f***ed over by Homelander. And him saying, yeah, you know what? No, f*** you. Just like he did with Homelander previously in the episode where he calls him a pathetic worm, was done so well. So Butcher kind of is like, all right, that's all cool. And he goes and he says, well, Terror, I guess it's just you and me. And Terror, his dog, which is the only thing left of his old life, kicked the bucket. I almost cried. My girlfriend cried at that scene. And that was almost the death of one more thing, one more ounce of hurt in Butcher. So he goes with the virus with the sole goal of, he puts it in the sprinkler systems in Vought Tower. Huey follows him and confronts him at the tower before he's able to do it. And Butcher says, oi, the sprinkler systems, they're going to go off and kill every suit, blah, blah, blah. He does that. Butcher, because this is just the character that we know at this point. He's destructive, he's aggressive, he's angry, and he always resorts to violence or taking people out. And I think those flashbacks earlier that we saw with, I forget what it is. I'm just going to call him, Negan for... the guy from The Walking Dead, if you get in Butcher's way, he's just gonna kill you like he did with me. Butcher was willing to see it to the very end, and even if it meant killing Annie and all these different people, Butcher's about to pull the trigger to kill every soup, to pull the sprinklers, but then, right before he sees a glimpse of Lenny, because that's his brother who took himself out, Kurt Cobained himself, game-ended himself, and he decides not to. But it's already too late, because Huey shot Butcher. When they read like Butcher's eulogy, whatever, they're like, yeah, Butcher was an asshole. He was a dickhead through and through, man. We've seen it time and time again. Huey and Starlight have their little happily ever after. I think it's awesome that Huey opened up his own electronic shops back where he started, because he was never built for this, man. He was built for selling you aux cords and giving you diagnostics on your computer malware issues. Like, he's just a fucking dweeb through and through, and that's what I like. It shows that she's pregnant. Yeah? Woo! Hey, that must mean Huey, my man. I personally went into this season with super low expectations. I thought it was going to be horrible. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, especially the finale. They managed to do a decent ending, albeit extremely rushed. I think it's so fucking stupid what they did with Soldier Boy. Like, it's just so obvious they were, doing all this to build up towards a spin-off thing. The Boys has been greenlit for multiple different spin-offs. I just learned about The Boys Mexico, The Boys Mexico. I don't know if it's supposed to take place in the same universe or an alternate universe. Maybe it's going to be the superheroes fighting against the cartel. They also got Vought Rising, which is like a big Soldier Boy spin-off from before. Also, Gen V, I was told, oh man, for this season, you really gotta watch Gen V. Gen V is gonna play a big role in this final season. Guys, I don't know shit about Gen V. I don't even know the main character's name. I just went in completely blind, and I guess that was the right choice. Overall, a very rushed finale, but I thought the Piano Man montage at the end was really good. If I went in with such unbelievably low expectations, that they weren't going to stick the landing, they were definitely exceeded, but I don't think they were met to what I was hoping they would be, if that makes sense. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want. Follow my TikTok, my Instagram. Let me know what you thought, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.